Minecraft 1.17, you're probably all wondering, well, what exactly are we going to be getting? Well, these are all the features that we are getting in 1.17. So most of the blocks and features that will be part of Caves and Cliffs, they will be inside this 1.17 update. The only things that we will not be getting in 1.17 is the world generation. So let's begin with the new Deep Slate blocks. Now, I don't know what it is, but the Deep Slate, oh my goodness, they are by far one of my favorite looking blocks, and they kind of make me want to build a medieval looking castle, like some kind of gothic castle or something like that. Now, the block that you will need to obtain first is going to be cobbled Deep Slate, and cobbled Deep Slate is obtained by breaking down the Deep Slate block. Now, whenever you're mining inside the ground, you're going to find these in blobs in 1.17. After that point, in 1.18, you'll be able to find them on the below levels of Y0 down to negative 64. But whenever you mine up this block, you'll get yourself the cobbled Deep Slate. Then this is the block that you can use to craft all the different items. So you can get yourself the brand new chiseled, you got yourself the tiles, the polished, you even got yourself the bricks. Now you can also get yourself cracked variants of the tiles and the cracked variants of the bricks. So in order to get those, well, you just melt down either the tiles or the bricks into a furnace, then you get those as the outcome. And there's a few more recipes I do want to show you. So inside of here, I'm going to grab myself some cobbled Deep Slate. Now if you put 4 into a crafting grid, then you get your polished Deep Slate. You put 4 polished Deep Slate inside there, you get Deep Slate bricks. Put 4 bricks in there, then you get yourself your tiles. You can also make stairs and slabs and even walls. But that doesn't end there, because so you can find yourself some Deep Slate coal ore, iron ore, copper ore, gold ore, emerald ore, diamond ore, redstone ore, or lapis ore. Now, as I mentioned earlier, whenever you look around your world in 1.17, you will find blobs of Deep Slate. And within those Deep Slates, these are where you're going to find these ores. Now, after 1.18 does release, then you're going to find these within the underground locations as well, as I mentioned earlier. But however, within the underground locations in 1.18, the only ores that you will not find coal, you will not find copper, and you will not find emerald. These will only spawn on the upper levels within the blobs, so try to keep that in mind. But then we have the next block, which is going to be copper. Next up is going to be copper. Now there is a lot of copper blocks here. There is a copper block for basically any kind of exposedness. Now next up, let's talk about copper. Now there are 4 different stages of copper blocks. There is the first stage, we have the second stage, which is exposed, we have the third stage, which is weathered, then the fourth stage is fully oxidized. Now you can also wax them as well. So if I grab a honeycomb and I interact with one of these, we get ourselves these yellow particles, which tells you that they are now waxed. Now whenever they're waxed, you can also remove it. So if I grab the netherite axe, I mean it can be any kind of axe, but I'm just going to use netherite. If I interact, then we get ourselves these white particles, which means that you have de-waxed them. Now if you interact again, you can actually de-oxidize them. So you can make it go back a stage, which is fairly cool. But there is another way that you can de-oxidize them. We get ourselves this magic beam of lightning, and then it turns it back to a stage as well. You can also use a trident. Now whenever you use the trident, make sure I was channeling on it, and make sure that you place down one of these lightning rods. Now if you do want to make the copper blocks, you just need 4 copper ingots. Now in the later version, you will need 9 of them. We also have ourselves the cut versions as well. To get the cut versions, all you need is a stone cutter. So I come inside of here, I place down the copper block, and then we can get ourselves the cut variants for the slab in the stairs. But however, if you do have yourself any of the oxidized stages, you can go ahead and turn those into the appropriate stairs slabs as well, or even the appropriate cut versions. And next up, let's talk about Amethyst. In order to find Amethyst, you need to look for the Amethyst geodes, which there's a picture up on screen right now. And whenever you find one of these magical geodes, you'll be able to get yourself these 2 blocks. You have yourself the budding amethyst and the regular amethyst block. The budding amethyst is what you're going to need if you want to grow any of these crystals. Now for the crystals to grow, you need either water next to it or you need air next to it. If you have either of those 2 blocks by it, then they will start growing some amethyst buds. Now whenever they're fully grown, they will look like this. They're called the amethyst clusters. Stage 1 is this very tiny small amethyst bud. This is stage 2, which is the medium amethyst bud. Then we have the large amethyst bud, which is stage 3. Then stage number 4 is the amethyst cluster. And once you have this, you'll get yourself your Amethyst shards. Now you need 4 of these shards if you want to turn those back into an Amethyst block. You actually cannot mine the budding Amethyst. Even if you have Silk Touch, you cannot take this thing home with you. But besides that, there's also 2 other blocks that you can find. There is calcite, which is forming the second outermost layer, and then the third outermost layer is going to be smooth basalt. And you can also get this block by smelting down basalt that you find inside the nether. Now if you get 2 copper ingots and 1 amethyst shard, you can make yourself the spyglass, which will allow you to see things from very far away. Now if you get 4 amethyst shards in a glass block, then you can make yourself a new type of glass, which is called tinted glass. Now this block will not allow light to pass through, so if I go and cover this up, then it is going to be completely dark inside of here. Then we have dripstone. Now whenever you break dripstone, this will cause them all to fall down. Now whenever you have yourself these different dripstone shards, you can put 4 inside the crafting grid, and then you get a block of dripstone. Now after a while, this will start to grow. You will be waiting a very long time. These can take days to grow in the world of Minecraft. And now next up, let's go talk about the new Lush Cave blocks. Now there is going to be a lot of blocks in the Lush Caves, but sadly the Lush Caves, they will not be coming to the game until 1.18, along with the other world generation as I mentioned earlier. But for the time being, we will be able to build with all the lovely blocks that you will find down inside the Lush Caves, such as moss carpets, and you can also get these blocks by bone mealing one of these moss blocks. We also got ourselves rooted dirt, and we have roots. So this is called the big drip leaf. If I bone meal it, then it's going to get a little bit taller in the sky. And if I stand on it, then after a while it will start to fall downwards, and then you're going to fall right through. Now if you want to stop it from doing that, let's go ahead and apply some redstone. For the smaller version, this is called the small drip leaf. You actually cannot stand on it whatsoever, but it does look really cool. Now you can put it inside of water, moss, or you can put on clay. Then we have the glow lichen, which is a light block underneath the ground. We have the spore blossom, which will cause these particles to be around the area, and you can also interact with it to get some berries as well. Now in order to grow them, these are going to be the things that you need. So if I interact with this rooted dirt, now do note that you can actually put this on any solid block, but it cannot be a transparent block. Then we have the azaleas themselves. Now you could bone meal these and you'll get stuff in these bigger trees. Now these are going to be what you find whenever you're about to find a lush cave. So whenever you find these, just dig downwards until you find yourself your lush cave. Now in 1.17's case, these will not generate inside of your world. We have another new block which is called tough. A big change is coming for ores. So you see we have still some raw ore right here. So if you mount up iron, copper, or gold, you'll get yourself one of these 3 raw ores. If you get 9 of these, then you can make yourself a block of raw copper, a block of raw iron, or a block of raw gold. And I'm not going to get into what people think these look like. Trust me, it's a big debate. Our next block is powdered snow. And if you wear a full set of leather armor, then you will not freeze inside these whatsoever. But if you're not wearing any leather armor, then you will actually sink inside here. So as you see, we get ourselves these freezing particles. We sink down to the ground, and then after a while, our hearts will turn blue, and then we will end up freezing. And as you saw, if you try to jump out of here, it's going to be quite tricky. Now to stop yourself from sinking, just go ahead and put on some leather boots. Now you can also fill up cauldron with powdered snow as well. If you already have it filled up with powdered snow, just interact, and then the powdered snow block will be placed above. Now whenever it's snowing, that's also going to be another way that you can have this fill up with snow as well, so keep that in mind. Now next up, we have the glow squid, and nobody cares about the glow squid. Now this is called the glow ink sac. Now the glow ink sac, this is the useful one, because you can use this to make the glow item frame, which I'll get onto what this does in a moment, but also you can make sign text be a little bit brighter. And a new feature in 1.17, you'll also be able to change the color of sign text, which is fairly cool. So if I come inside here and I grab any color that I want, you know what, let's go for yellow. And I interact with one of these signs, then we can change the color. If I interact with the glow ink sac, then the text gets a little bit brighter. And this is going to be really good if you're playing in the very dark area. And now as you can see, the map got a little bit brighter because it's inside one of the new item frames. And this diamond is brighter because it's in the item frame as well. We also have ourselves goats, which whenever you find goats, they'll be able to jump really high up. You can use wheat to breed them, and you can also milk them as well. Now right here we have the goat horn, and the goat horn right now is only available with experimental gameplay, But for all the other stuff inside of here, these are all available outside of experimental gameplay. If a goat rams into a tree, then that's what causes them to drop one of their horns. And they can do that twice, and they'll drop both of their horns. And now over here we have the axolotls, which axolotls, they can come in different colors. You got yourself this light blue, a pink, a yellow, a brown, and a blue. Now the blue is obtained whenever you breed to it together, and it's a very rare thing to actually get. And you can also breed them by using tropical fish. So we have a tropical fish bucket right here. I can interact with this one. I'm going to go ahead and break this one free, and I'm going to interact with the brown one. They're going to start to breed. Oh, he is so adorable. He is an adorable little baby. What? They really are cute. Now, interestingly enough, if you go ahead and try to feed them regular tropical fish, they don't care about the regular tropical fish. They like being bucket fed. Now, whenever they're attacking a mob and you kill the mob they're attacking, then you will get your mighty fatigue removed. And this is going to be really good in South Ocean monuments. And they will also play dead when it takes damage, and they will regenerate health. And then we also have candles and bundles coming in the next update. But however, those are not part of Bedrock yet, and sadly we cannot take a look at those. But I do want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments on what you think of everything in 1.17. Are you excited for all of these awesome blocks? And if you enjoyed this video, then please consider leaving a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here. I will catch you next time. Goodbye.